Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows, y'all. It's Wednesday night, so of course, we gotta talk about our Lifetimes Married at First Sight, season 17, Down to the Denver. This is episode 19, titled Sex, Lies, and Questionable Behavior. Y'all, I'm just trying to stick with this season and push through. Thank y'all for subscribing to the channel. Shout out to all the new subscribers. A bunch of new subscribers came through recently. Shout out to y'all. Let me know in the comments if you are a new subscriber. Shout me out and I'll say hello back. Like this video, y'all. It helps push it through the algorithm. Make sure you watch it all the way to the end because you're gonna want to talk about this horrible episode. Also, share the video where you like to share your content and comment down below. Like I said, let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know if you're a new subscriber. Just say hey. Just say hey. Shout out to the Married at First Sight fans who watch these reviews and y'all show up in the comments every week. Shout out to y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. Anyway, let's get into this review. Now, we are not going to go in any particular order. We're just going to talk about the episode because we're ready to wrap it up. And did y'all see at the end of the episode when they said Chloe and Michael are going to finish their journey while we do the decision day for the other couples? And I said, what decision day? Because did we not see everybody's marriage fall apart pretty much in this episode? I mean, Claire and Cameron was done. Lauren and Orion, we don't even need to talk about them. And Brennon and Emily and Becca and Austin fell apart this episode too. So what decision day? And we, like I told y'all, and how many reviews ago, I'm not extending the season for Chloe and Michael. Not doing it. Nope. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Anyway, the episode started off with I think what's her name? Claire was going to go check on her girl Emily. Emily says she's doing good, feels like now Brennan, he's doing better when it comes to her. But, somebody's always slipping back through the cracks. Told y'all. Anyway, she says she made them some dinner reservations so she could bring up some stuff like in a light way to discuss what they're doing, where they are now. All right. Same old with them. I mean, they just go around in circle. Claire says she talked to Cameron. Emily's like, okay, girl, but did he be checking on you? She's like, yeah. He said he knows, I'm lonely in the process. He said he knows I'm going to be crying on decision day. And she said she does, wish she was there with her and all that stuff. Girl, stop. So anyway, Claire and Emily caught up, right? So then I think the next scene is when we do see Becca and Austin, and I may go out of order, y'all, but we just gonna talk. Becca and Austin go to do some clay making or something, child. And so Becca's bringing up the fact that basically Austin is one way on camera and one way off camera. He don't like for her to call him out about things on camera that he is doing off camera. And so he didn't appreciate how she was calling him out. He doesn't like that she said that he is dismissive and combative, but you are. And y'all know what it was reminding me of last season of Ready to Love, for all my Ready to Love fans, when Jessica said, when they said Jessica was acting combative and that became a whole thing, that's what it was giving. I said, now Austin don't want the labels put on him like he a black woman. Okay. So anyway, Becca was saying how basically, you don't like for me to say these things about you off camera. But basically, this is the first time Becca's really saying like, hey, this is what it is. You doing this, at one point, but then, you say you're going to do all these things on camera. You're not doing them. You're acting one way on camera, one way off camera. He doesn't like that. He also feels like, maybe her boy, sorry, y'all, hairs in my eye. He feels like, okay, are the men you dated in the past, like, are they passive? Are they, kind of submissive or something? Because the way you be talking to me, like you could just talk to me in a kind of way. So he doesn't like the way that Becca be talking to him. And she's like, my boyfriends weren't like that. Like, I'm not trying to talk to you in a certain way. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm not trying to make you look bad on camera. I just want you to basically like show up more. She told him something about he left the washer machine door open. Who does that? And she didn't want him to get. Actually, people do leave their washing machine door open. Actually, I don't know. Anyway, do y'all leave y'all washing machine door open? Let me know. Anyway, she didn't want it to get moldy inside or something. So she asked him to close it, and she said, "Yeah, I thought that was going to be a moment with you, but it went really easy." And he's like, "Oh, why would you think that would be a moment? Like, you don't think that I'm an easygoing person?" And so he doesn't like the fact that she's saying like he be making issues. And so, but we knew this about you, Austin. Like we've been saying this the last 2 weeks. She's just finally calling it out on camera. And she kind of started to hint at these things. Now, Emily been saying it dance at the after party with Keisha Knight, Pulliam, okay? But now Emily is telling us what's the real tea, okay? Austin is no different than Brennon. He just packages it differently, no different. So then Becca was cold, right? Because she had no jacket on in there. And she went up to get her jacket on, and she said, "Oh, I'm gonna put yours on because you got the fleece inside." And then he was like, "Oh, please don't get clay all over my jacket," because she didn't wash her hands first. And so then she put his jacket back and got her jean jacket that looked very thin, like she was not about to be warm. And she's like, "I do have to say, like, I feel like that was being rude. Like, you're being rude right there. Like, she's like, if you needed something of mine, I will let you use it. I don't care if it got dirty, ruined, whatever. I will let you use it." And he was like, "Okay, so now you trying to make it wrong for me to want you to wash your hands before you put on my jacket." She was like, "Okay, who cares? Like, some clay got on a jacket. We could have dusted it off." Now, I see both sides because don't put your dirty clay hands in my jacket. Like, first of all, if you cold, go wash your hands, then go put the jacket on. First of all, that's common sense. Okay. But secondly, I do get what Becca is saying. Like, dang, it's just a jacket. You can wash it, right? You can get the clay off of it. And she said it's just compounding everything else that's going on, like of his behavior. And he just showed it. The way he said it, and he made a joke out of it. He was being very snappy. He's like, "Yeah, please don't get clay on my jacket." I was like, "Okay." Don't get no clay on his jacket. Now, granted, I would have felt the same way because I don't mess up my clothes. Don't mess up my clothes. But it was just like the timing of it was bad. Austin is what it was giving. Anyway, she was crying. She was upset. They're not getting along. They not working it out, y'all. It won't work. Anyway, then we see Chloe and Michael meet up with Dr. Pia. Michael already knows Dr. Pia about to come talk about the intimacy stuff because that's what she do. That's where they're at in the process. And so she's asking them, like, are they being okay? Like, are they still showing their representatives, showing themselves? So Chloe said she doesn't feel like they've had the luxury to really just only show their representatives at this point. Like they've had to kind of be themselves. She said that she's had the most deepest conversations with him more than any other long-term relationship she's been in. And Dr. Pia looked pleased with that. Dr. Pia, you look good in that scene, girl. So anyway, Michael said that just to clarify, like he feels like they are still somewhat showing their, like best selves. But he said, like, but sometimes, like when the cameras go down, if there's 30 minutes in between, he might take him a little nap or something real quick. I don't feel like that's such a bad thing, Michael. Like, okay, who cares if you're taking that? I do feel like Michael wants to make sure he looks good on camera, though. I do feel that way. But I mean, him and Chloe seem to be cool. And so then Dr. P was like, "Have you guys been, exploring each other, enjoying each other?" And so because they both are in a intimacy and they both expressed that was a big deal for them. They showed a clip of when Dr. Pia went down to Chloe's house and how she said she keep her toy under the pillow because she needed it accessible for when she wants it. I said, "Okay, Chloe." Chloe a freak. She the bigger freak, okay? Michael said his freak level is about a 6, but he's willing to explore and learn. I was like, okay, let me. Chloe is actually more freakier than Michael. I ain't surprised. So they were like, Chloe's like, "Oh yeah, well, I told him I'm a person, we like to hug, cuddle, I want to be touched." And so then they showed some nightcam footage of them on the sofa cuddling up, and you could see her put her hand in Michael's pants. I was like, "What is this?" I had to rewind that a couple times, y'all. I was clutching Chloe's pearls on my neck. Okay. And I was like, "What is happening here?" And then they show something blurred out, looked like somebody's face was somewhere. I was like, "What is happening? What's happening?" So anyway, they getting into it. But my thing is, if they doing all that, then have they had sex? Because once we start touching, rubbing, kissing, hugging, then that's what's the next thing to happen, right? Like, is it just me? Wouldn't that be the next thing to happen for y'all? So I'm like, have y'all had sex and y'all not telling us? Like, what's the tea? And they didn't have no after party tonight. They talking about decision day and Denver. Decision day in Denver is over. The only decision day we need is Chloe and Michael. Like, we don't need everybody else. Decision day don't matter. It really don't. Who's hair get in my eye? Anyway. So Dr. Pia gave them a homework assignment to go down to the sex shop and see what they can do to get it popping. Chloe said, "Okay, that's right." She go all the time. Michael said it's gonna be a first time adventure for him. So she said she gonna, show him the ropes down to the sex shop. So anywho, then I think we get the scene with Emily and Brennan when they go down to the restaurant. They go to the steakhouse, and Emily is basically saying, thanking Brennan for when he showed up for her and saying, like, I've seen this other side of you. Like, it sucks that it takes me hitting a tree for this to come out, but if that's what it takes. It's also, well, I already know this is about to go downhill. So then she was saying how, like, now she's not sure they're supposed to be in a friendship relationship, and he said, oh, I guess it wasn't really clear, defined, or something. And she's like, well, I know you say you broke up with your last girlfriend because she was trying to be a mind reader, and I'm not a mind reader, so I need you to kind of explain, like, what's going on, because we signed up for Married at First Sight, and it just doesn't make sense. So then he said something about, like, um he's been there for her. He definitely feels like he's been showing up, but maybe it's not enough. And so she was like, well, I feel like I've been putting more of myself into this than you, and you haven't. Like, can you explain that? And so then he was like, well, I just basically, he like, I just saved your life. Like, what you talking about? So then she was like what? Like, and he was like, basically, it didn't make sense what they were trying to say. It was kind of hard to understand, but basically, his thing is like, she said we wouldn't have got to this part if it wasn't for me being in an accident, so you can't compare the two. And so then he was like, I wouldn't go through all this and be in an accident. I almost lost you. So that was basically, he said he wouldn't have went through all this just to stay with her, basically. And so she was like, I'm the one, you're like, we're trying to rob me of the process. Like, I'm the one who wanted to work on this. Like, I noticed a switch in you after the honeymoon, and I don't know what it was. And then he was like, oh, okay, was it me? Was it you convincing me to stay, or me staying for you? And she's like, oh, I was definitely the one convincing you. He was like, I'm the one that stayed for you because I put you before me. I said, oh, don't do me no favors, Brennan. So then they start going back and forth about who was there for who. He said he noticed several red flags. He feels like he got to really know all of her. Um, First of all, he got tired of talking about it. He said he just want to eat his steak. So the steak came. He made sure it was cooked well enough for her. The food was looking good, minus that rare steak. But I don't like my steak rare like that. Anywho, so then he was trying to eat. You could tell he was like, he was getting all frustrated in his seat. So then she was like, I don't want to keep going around and around about this, but I do want you to explain, like, elaborate. So then I was like, girl, let me eat the steak, but we're gonna get to it. So then he, like I said, he sees several red flags about her, and one of them is that I forgot what the other two red flags were. I think the drinking was a red flag for him, but one of his red flags was that she was a negative person. He didn't like how she said that Chloe and Michael's vows were really bland and vanilla, and she thought they were going to do more. I didn't like how she said that either. And Emily got really offended. She's like, what? How can you say that? I'm like the most positive person. And she did have her negative moments. And I granted she is positive. Like, all her injuries, especially this one, like, she took it like a champ. She's being very positive through it. But when she's going through it with Brennan, she is very, very negative against other people. And that's what she's doing at an after party. That's what she was doing at Chloe Michael's wedding. So I get what he meant by that. But her thing is like, okay, don't say that when I barely had those moments, and like, look at what you were doing first. And I agree with that. Like, you can't say that, oh, Emily is all of a sudden so negative and that's a turn off for you. And he said he didn't want anyone negative. Like, you've been negative, sir. So she got mad. She stormed off. She went and sat on the floor in the bathroom or the lobby or somewhere. The producer talking to her like, yeah, he shouldn't be saying that to you, blah, blah, blah. Producers, what is going on, child? What is going on? Anyway, then she came back to the table. She's like, what's the other red flags? And he didn't have no more for her. They ended on a bad note. Okay. Later on, we do see Chloe and Michael go down to the sex shop. I mean, they was buying all kind of stuff. The person showing them around, they were playing with some latex gloves. They bought a toy for her. She was naming off, like, she had a whole grocery store list of stuff. She wanted that stuff. So anyway, I guess they got some kind of toy that he could use that was supposed to look like a woman's part or something. I don't know. Anyway, when they got home, we could just wrap Chloe Michael up. They got home and they were talking about it. She was really excited to try it. She wanted to smell it. It came with headphones. I guess you could hear a woman's moans in it. He wanted to name it Penelope. He said he's willing to try. She said, "You got 5 minutes." Now, mind you, them dogs was on the bed. And I was like, "Can we get these dogs out the bed?" But anyway, like kick them out the room when y'all get into it, please. So she called it an animal too. And so he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try it." He was like, "But can you not be laughing when I try it?" And I'm like, "Well, why y'all just don't have sex instead of him doing that?" I'm confused by all that. Anyway, so she's like, "Set your timer for 5 minutes because you finna get to work. We finna get it popping." And so they were kissing stuff in the bed, and that was like the last scene of the show. So who knows what they about to do, y'all? Who knows? Sorry, y'all know I keep touching my face. That hair was getting in my eye. So anywho, then okay, so we done with Chloe and Michael. Okay, we're not talking about them no more this episode. Well, we will talk about Chloe a little bit. So we do see Emily. No, Claire came to talk to Emily, right? And Claire was like, "Girl, I don't, I've been trying to tell you, I didn't want to tell you this because I've been trying to, take it easy on you. I've been really trying to spare your feelings, girl. But it turns out that Brennan been trying to go on double dates with Cameron." Now, when she shared this, I was like, "Girl, why you been not said it? If this is true, why you ain't said it all this time? Like, girl, really, girl." So, um, Emily's like, she was like, "Oh," she started crying. It looked fake. I don't know. Somehow that scene looked fake to me. So then she's all like, "God, I can't believe this." And I can't and she was like, Claire's like, "Girl, you're too good for him. And these men are doing all this." So then, they having a sister circle moment. Then they have a moment with all the rest of the ladies. So they can basically Claire, Becca, and Emily can fill in Chloe. Chloe's like, "Tell me what's been going on." So Emily filled in her in about the dinner and everything they had going on, and how Claire said they've been going down to the double dates. Becca is saying how Austin be acting one way on camera, one way off camera, but she still has hope that they could work out. She still feels like he's a good person. They still have a good time together. I was like, "Girl, Becca, let it go." I need Becca to let it go. Like, do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Becca need to be holding on hope? Like, cause girl, and we started. Look at this behind me. Y'all remember how picture perfect these two was, and everybody thought they was gonna work out in the beginning. Mm. Look at him. It's enough. It's enough. So, he don't like that lady. Austin don't like that lady. That's what it is. Girl, he don't like you. He's just not that into you. He not. Just give up. Just divorce. He not. She thinks maybe after the process, after the cameras, because Austin is saying it's the cameras, it's the cameras, it's the cameras. He ain't gonna do no better after the camera. If he's treating you one way off camera and one way on camera, what makes you think he gonna be better after the camera? It's like, what, girl, what? So anywho, so Chloe's just, she's like, "Oh, Chad, look at him." No, but she's supporting. And so Becca co-signed what Emily said about Brennan, worried about how he was looking on camera. And she was like, "Yeah, he will even tell Emily like to delete some of their diary cam footage if he feels like it's not like the image he wants them presenting." I said, "Ooh, didn't we call that, y'all? Didn't we call that?" So Claire didn't really chime in, but Claire looked like Claire was giving very much Misery Loves Company. That's what Claire was giving to me. Was it just me? So anyway, Emily called Brennan up on a FaceTime. Okay, she got her phone. She was like, "Let me call him, girl. Let me call him." She got him on the FaceTime. So yeah, I heard you was trying to go on double dates with Cameron. And yeah, you trying to talk about how you don't want to look one way on camera, but you looking the way you didn't want to look on camera. And he was like, "First of all, that's not true." He was just waking up, like she woke him up out of his sleep. He's like, "First of all, that's not true. Like that was joke. I said things jokingly to Claire and Cameron all the time. That wasn't no joke. I don't believe it was a joke. I believe it's true. Or Claire's a lie." Okay, now I don't know. Claire do be lying though, so who knows? But I think it's true. Y'all let me know if Brennan been going on double dates. Y'all think he been going on double dates with Cameron? Let me know. I think he did though. And so then she was like, what is your reasoning for this? Girl, you don't even know his reasoning. And then he was like, you don't even know what you're talking about. And so then they going back and forth. He talking about, you say you can destroy me or something like that. And she's like, what are you saying? And he was like, she was basically like, see, now everybody's going to know how you really are. And I guess the last 2 weeks, I got to finally know that person who's inside of you. I guess is the only good thing that came out of this. But really, you really showed your true colors at the end of the day. So they're just going back and forth. And I'm like, oh, child. So they're done. So then later on, he came to the house and he's like, I'm just going to go and get my stuff. So he came and packed all his stuff up. And then he was like, did you want to have a quick conversation real quick? And she was sitting on the sofa. She was like, nope, she didn't. She was interested. So then he gave her a hug and said, well, was she the best? And he took her stuff and he left, y'all. I was like, oh, no. So then later on, we see Becca go talk to her friend. What was her friend name? Melody? No, I don't remember her friend name. And Austin goes talk to one of his friends. And he just complaining to his friend. Now, his friend, I got thoughts about Austin and his friend, but I'm going to keep them to myself. But y'all probably already know what I'm thinking. Y'all already know what I'm thinking. Okay. I'm thinking, that might be why he's not attracted to Becca. That might be why he's not going to have sex with her. Allegedly. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not trying to see what he doesn't. I'm not. Anywho, he's basically like, I feel like I gotta change to be with her, and I'm trying my best, but I feel like the way she talks to me, she's saying I'm dismissive and combative and all this stuff, and this is not who I am. I just don't like this picture being painted to me if this is not me. And so his friend was like, if you gotta do all that, like maybe y'all don't need to be together. Like you shouldn't have to do all that to be with her. Maybe it's not meant to be. I was like, oh, friend was like, don't change for that lady. Uh-huh. So then she's on her friend. Her friend basically like, okay, girl, if this was me, if this was you telling me, you would tell me not to be in this situation, girl. You would tell me I could do better. So her friend was just basically giving her positive words, saying like, girl, like this ain't it. So then Becca gets home and she letting us know that, she thought everything with her and Austin were good. They were laughing and talking. And then I guess at some point he got home and they got into it. And then next thing she know, I think she came home and all his stuff was gone. So they showed a clip. Austin and packed his stuff up, and he also moved out. I said, "Dang, everybody moving out. All the men are moving out on these ladies." I said, "What is going on in Denver? Them men don't like them ladies in Denver." So anyway, so Austin and packed his stuff and went out just like Brennon did. I said, "Oh, this is too much. This is too much." I was like, let me go and talk to y'all about this tonight after that happened. That's what made me really get on this camera, y'all. So then she was like, dang, she's still telling me she got hope, y'all. She delusional. And, I still, got a crush on him. And, I still think there's hope for us. We have such a good time together. We laugh and talk together. Like, I don't know. I don't know how decision day is going to be. Emily shares that she does it on her little camera. She don't know how decision day is going to be, but she said that she wants to make sure she uses this time because this is like a day or two before decision day. Thank God. And she said she wants to make sure she says everything. She don't care if it hurts her, hurts Brennan. She wants to like expose it all. And it looks like in the preview, she finally gonna tell us everything that was happening. Finally. So Brennan says, he got his little cam on talking about, he hates that he's getting a divorce now. He doesn't see this happening. He said something about he wouldn't have went through the experience with anybody else. And then he's like, no, I can't say that now. He just sounds like a horrible person. Oh, yeah. And then when him and Emily were on the FaceTime getting into it, he's talking about, oh, I saved your life. And how dare you act like I didn't do anything for you and did all this stuff. I saved your life. I don't like that. Oh, because you saved her life and you're throwing it back in her face. And they're like, okay, anybody else would have done that when the girls were talking. Like anybody else would have, been active in that moment. Like, granted, yeah, he did go in action maybe more than everybody else around did, but don't throw it back in her face later like, oh, I saved your life, so now you don't got to hold me accountable. Like, what? I was like, what? Anyway, y'all, that was the end of the episode. Child, Denver. Married at First Sight, people got some explaining to do. This is the worst tragic, toxic season ever. Anyway, y'all, it's way beyond my bedtime. So y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and share. We do got to talk about the latest 2 episodes of Love is Blind that were dropped. I didn't finish episode 11 yet. I finished 10. We'll most likely just do a review and not a live for those 2. I'm thinking, y'all. But yeah, just stay, turn on your post bell notifications. We'll also catch up with Bold and Bougie comes on tomorrow night, so we'll do that. And then well, we got Friday, we got Ready to Love, so make sure y'all check that out. Oh, speaking of Lifetime, since we talking about a Lifetime show, if y'all watched the Where's Wendy Williams documentary that came on last weekend, I did a short about it. It was just very, very hard to watch. So, if y'all want to talk about that, comment on the short. Let me know what y'all thought about it. I only did a short about part 1 and 2. I did watch 3 and 4, but I couldn't do another video about it. It was too much. It's way too much. But anyway, y'all, Married at First Sight. We just need to call it quits with them. We need to call it quits. Anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.